Yeah, I just want to be the greatest.
It's your boy Hi-Fi Vega, back again, and this time I'm here to show off a little DIY boombox I put together. I built this using the $10 Blaupunkt or Bluepoint head unit that Big D done a video on a while back. It's a little more expensive now. I'll see if I can't find it, leave a link in the description below, and also I'm going to leave a link to Big D's video so you can see what he thought about that head unit. So let's jump in, let's look at it, let's see how this boombox is put together, let's see how it sounds, do all that kind of stuff. Then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on how this project ended up. So here it is. Here is the boombox. It's a very simple design. It was meant to be utilitarian. If I had it to do over again, I may get a little fancier with the design, but when I was thinking about it, I just wanted to fit everything on there. I wanted it to be sturdy, be able to sit up by itself very easily, and just be portable enough and loud enough and good enough for any kind of thing that I'm doing outside. So anything from going to the lake to just, hanging out at the park, stuff like that. The basic layout is the $10 Blaupunkt head unit. Big D done a cool video on this, and this thing kind of blew up, and now I think they raised the prices on them, but it's a decent head unit. I can't say that I'd recommend it, knowing as many people as I do that have had problems with it. So I got this one from Derek, and it works pretty good. Sounds okay too. I've got two 6.5-inch Pioneer, and those come from a component set where I just use the tweeters. So I kind of use these to add a little more bass to the mix. Have a 5 1/4 MB Quart old school coax type setup. It does come with passive crossovers. That's basically it. Got 4 speakers, run only off the Blaupunkt for power. I've got the remote, just kind of Velcro to the side. This is marine grade carpet, so it is waterproof, although the speakers aren't really. Before we turn it around and look at what's going on inside, I did add just a regular old handle, something that would just be simple to carry it with. Alright, so let's look on the inside and see what's going on. I originally planned to put a full-on back on here with maybe a 10-inch passive radiator to help with the bass, and it's something I still may do in the future, but I was trying to get this ready. We had something we were going to do, and I wanted to be able to use this, so for the time being, it's got just a piece of carpet with some batting on the back to help with the sound. So let's take it off and see what we got underneath here. If you haven't picked yourself up anything for Christmas yet, you should check out video sponsor PCBWay. They're having a huge Christmas blowout sale. They're offering coupons of up to $200, and they're offering up to 70% off prototyping of PCB boards. So if you need to do anything from building your own custom relay box to just designing your own PCB in general, you should check out PCBWay.com. Links in the description below. As you can see, I just got some, some old polyfill in there. Help with the sound. And I think later, if I do add the insets in here and I put a solid wood panel on here with a passive radiator, I could really get some nice bass out of this. It's decent as is, but I think it could be improved. So let's go with the setup here. Obviously, I've got a little 12 amp hour battery. This powers the whole thing. It lasts a really long time. The only flaw in this design is this does draw power even when it's turned off a little bit. If you do not unhook this wire here, or the positive or the negative, you will drain this battery down. So that's something I need to put a toggle switch on or think about in the future. Outside of that, you see obviously the back side of the Blaupunkt or Bluepoint, the Pioneer mids, and the MB Quart QM130s with the passive crossovers right here. Like I said, it's pretty simple, nothing too complicated, and to get the sound I wanted, I needed a bigger enclosure. I didn't think about building it long ways, but I probably should have built it long ways with the mids on the sides here. But that being said, this is what I end up with for right now. Figured I'd show you guys, how it is and what it looks like and what I ended up with. Let me hook it up, turn it around, and we'll see what it actually sounds like. And this thing gets very loud, so I'm going to play it at low volumes. I don't really have a space to do like a distance test with this, but just know that it gets very, very loud. So we'll hear it at moderate levels in here and see what it actually sounds like. Okay, we're going to play a few tracks at moderate volume. The camera is up closer than the mic itself. I have the mic in the very back of the room. I'm speaking directly into it now. You'll probably hear me in the background a little bit switching things, but let's try a few tracks and see what it sounds like. Obviously, this isn't going to sound as good as the things you've been hearing on my amp test because we've been using, better amplifiers, and this little Blaupunkt, as good a value as it is, the internal amplifier is not good at all. So let's listen to it. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, I'm going to run through a few more tracks, let you hear what it sounds like on those, and obviously we're playing around 30% volume because this thing can actually get very, very loud. It carries very well when you play outside, but in this room, if we play it that loud, you're definitely going to hear all the distortion and all that noise. So let's listen to those tracks. Let's see how they do. Okay, we're going to try it at a much higher volume. We'll just see what it sounds like.
She just wants to flirt, so I flirt right back. I just put in work, yeah, I work like that. Got me falling and it hurts, yeah, it hurts so bad. All in it is worth everything I have. Got a body, it's naughty, never want her off me. Hot like wasabi, hot like some coffee. We drink like a hobby, like to get sloppy. We ain't never stop, yeah. I just wanna drink with this girl all day. I don't wanna think, I just want to play. Keep me underneath the sheets while we sleep all day. I just wanna feed everything I crave.
As far as the way this boombox turned out, I'm generally overall pretty happy with it. There are some problems that I'd like to address. I mentioned the battery. Unless I have a toggle or something on it, or I physically disconnect it, the battery will drain. Even with the head unit off, it will drain completely. So that's definitely a problem that needs to be addressed. I'm not too happy with the design. It's just a square box, fittings 4 speakers, a full-size battery, and a half-tin head unit is a bit of a challenge, to say the least. I could do something better. I can get more creative with that and figure out a way to make that better. As far as the sound goes, it sounds pretty good at moderate volumes. It sounds better than a typical Bluetooth speaker. So I am proud of that. The bass is decent. It's better than most Bluetooth speakers. It's not what I want. It comes into the problem of upgrading your factory speakers with coaxial speakers, and all of a sudden you lose your bass. You lose your bass because these speakers aren't as efficient and you're running off head unit power. That's the problem I'm dealing with here, without adding an amplifier, because that's a bigger drain on the battery. That's more room that I need. So it could use a few tweaks, but I thought it was okay. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. So let me guys know if you're doing boombox builds in the comments. I wouldn't mind seeing pictures of them. Send them to me at hi5vega@gmail.com. So that's it. That's the boombox. You guys got to check it out. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to watch my videos, and those of you that comment, I really appreciate it. So let's just kind of keep the conversation going in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Shout out to all my Patreon supporters, but a special shout out goes to $6 or more members: 2001 Monolithic, The Third Era, G Nava, Joaquin Juarez, Paul Smith, Rick Quattlebaum, Byron Chambliss, The Caraudio Guy, Jason Zemer, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, and William Berg. For as little as $2 a month, you can get exclusive Patreon-only content not available on YouTube. If you'd like to help me with my goal of reaching one new patron a month, please check me out at patreon.com/hi5vega.